Yo, what's up, everybody? How we doing? How we been? Where we at? It's been a minute. It's been like what? A week. But we're back with another banger. Um, this is not the. Sorry, I'm chewing. This is not the. It's not the video I wanted to make. The videos I want to make, they're still in the works. I want to do more research. I want to make them great. So for now, you're stuck with these shitty ones. Um, and yeah, I mean, we'll talk about some important stuff. I mean, first off, hold up, we're gonna move some stuff around. The Blue Yeti is finally working properly. I found out what it is. It was there was just filters on both the software, the computer, and the microphone. It was so, that's kind of why it was like, but I mean, none of you guys knew because I was the only one that ever saw those videos that never got made. So all those attempts that got scrapped, all that time, effort wasted. Yeah, you guys didn't even see it. You don't see the work that I put in to do this because it's a lot. Yeah. Anyways, it's Thursday, August 28th. Fun fact, it's actually my childhood best friend's birthday today. So, Luis Rico, if you're watching this, I know we haven't talked since I left Cali, but happy birthday. Hope you're doing great. um, Despite that, a lot has happened. A lot within this last week, and that's kind of what this is. It's a week review slash also some thoughts I have about I mean, let's just jump into it. Religion, that's huge. Let's get personal. I know religion is like a touchy subject for a lot of people. I definitely was for me. I considered myself, what is it called? Here. There's this word. It's okay. Um Not it's not. I wasn't agonist for a very long time. I was agnostic about religion. Um that's the word I was looking for the long time. I believed in God and I wanted to believe in God so bad. But my brain, wired by science, wired by biology, just wouldn't allow me without any definite proof. And that made it really, really hard to be like pro God, if that's the appropriate term here. Oh yeah, we're munching on a chomp. But I have a very, or I like to think I have a very like science brain. So like I try to explain everything away with science first, right? Which most of the time you can. Especially with religion. But more and more, I've started to learn that those two things can coexist. You can be scientist and you can be religious. Just look at a lot of the leading scientists, a lot of the world's smartest people are religious. And I'm not saying that dumb people, you're dumb if you don't have a religion or any of that. Vice versa. Hey, I know a lot of stupid people that are the most religious people I ever know. Like I know a lot of small town folk um, sorry. That's another thing I'm worried about. I think I'm getting sick. Now that we're back, all these people I'm interacting with, they probably don't take care of themselves as well as I do. And they're probably introducing all sorts of microbes and germs into my microbe system. So, whew, my body's been working hard. Like, I've just been coughing all day. Obviously, do the little cover, but anyways, not the point. So back, yeah, recently, uh, some of the most smartest people out there are religious. Um, and I think that there's some validity to that in the sense that I think there's this theory. It's a theory out there. I can't remember who it was, but it was a mathematician who basically talked about religion. What was his name? Oh, here we go. So his name was Pascal. I'll pull it up right here. I really like the way he said this and the way he mentioned it. So, wow, fancy. I know. So, Pascal here, he um, he found harmony between math and religion. So he was a French mathematician, ah, math, a phys- a physicist, a philosopher. Um, he he was like he basically said, "Look, if you're telling me that there even is the smallest chance that after all this life is over, after everything that you've been through, if you put in genuine effort to be a good person because you know that that would guarantee you eternal life, wouldn't that outweigh that in of itself should outweigh anything? The fact that you could potentially live forever if this whole religion thing is true, that should be enough of a drive to, not be a fucking shitty person, to give it a chance, because what do you have to lose? You know? And maybe those weren't his exact words. I'm definitely maybe taking something out of context or something, but like, I heard that and I was like, that's so real, you know? Like, yeah, what if there's the smallest opportunity of chances? Why wouldn't you take it? To guarantee eternal life? Yeah, that's lit. And alongside with that, of course, you got to take it with a grain of salt. I'm no expert in religion. I'm definitely no expert in science. I mean, I'm not an expert in any. I'm a dumbass. I'm a professional dumbass speaking basically out of my ass because God knows I'm probably misremembering everything, but I don't, I feel like I'm right, so maybe I'm a little right to an extent, but I feel like a crazy person. Anyways, um, so yeah, along with that, so if all my life choices, if I live good, live like Jesus. I have been asking a lot of people, like, where do I start? Like, where do I build this back up from? Because the reason why religion for me was so difficult was because I only viewed the bad sides of it, the negative sides. Maybe it was my empathy. Like, I only ever saw the victims in religion. I only ever seeked out the stories of people that have been hurt by the system, because this is something, religion is something greater than us, yet it is being, I don't want to say controlled, but the systems and the way it goes about is they're made by humans, flawed, complicated. We're driven by our basic our basic brain. Our brain is, dude. We share the same DNA as the people that were fucking building fires and killing each other with clubs. We share that same DNA, and yet I'm supposed to understand and put all. I'm not understand, but I'm supposed to put all that. I'm gonna say humanity for the sake of like it. I'm supposed to put all that aside and transcend it. Like people aren't gonna do that. We're basically the same. You could probably take someone straight from the caveman times as a baby and raise them, and they'll probably be pretty normal. I mean, maybe their appendix will blow up or won't blow up. I don't know. I don't know how. What does the appendix even do? Nobody knows. Anyways, not the point. But these are flawed systems by flawed humans that are trying to understand something greater than themselves, that are driven by money, by resources. We're driven, and that's like 99% of all issues on earth are driven by resources. If you ever wonder why something happened or why something is the way it is, look at where the power is going. Look at where the money's going. It's like follow the dopamine almost, like, or follow, because to our most basic, most primitive sense, as fucking stupid as it is, and as much as I hate it, our purpose in life is just to reproduce, to pass on our DNA and continue the species, continue the bloodline. At the most fundamental level, that's all this is. And it fucking pisses me off. So of course, in that search, that's just gonna happen. They did a study. There's this people cheat, people lie all the time. They did a study, and I heard this on the Huberman podcast. He's honestly super smart. He's way smarter than I am. He has a PhD. He's a professor at Stanford, I'm pretty sure. And he talks to professionals from all aspects, bro. So I definitely, I would listen to his. That's kind of what inspired this talk right now, alongside kind of my own journey. Is recently he put out an episode about religion and mental health and like the benefits. And one thing they did talk about was cheating. People cheat all the time. And in the study that he was talking about, they talked about how there was like this list where people were given the choice of two tasks. They were like, hey, this is a super easy task that won't take you long, and this is a super hard task that will take you long. And so what they did was like they told the participants, they were like, hey, so you get to decide which task you get to choose, but just know that the person behind you is going to get the task that you did not choose, right? So, and kind of put these people in the position where they're like, oh, well, I don't want to be selfish and take the easy way, but I also don't want to take the hard one. Because, like, why would I want to do that, right? So what they did, if they presented a third option, a coin flip, where they were like, hey, we're going to flip a coin, and if you whatever you get, you're going to go do, right? So most subjects would flip the coin, see the results that they got, and then by this time they're alone, right? So it's just them in a room with the coin, I'm pretty sure. So whatever they got, so let's say they got tails, which would be the longer task. When the other person came in and they were like, hey, like, so I heard you flipped the coin, what was it? The person was like, not like, I think it was like an astounding rate of like 60 to 80% would be like, oh yeah, you got the long one. They would lie. Even if they got the long task, they would lie about it and say that they got the short one. And that's just kind of the purpose of that, or the purpose of me trying to explain that. Fuck, I probably chugging through this. people are greedy. They're selfish. That's how cults start. That's how, and that's another worry I have with religion. I don't want to join a cult. Dude, oh, you know how much that would suck if I go to a church service and here I think I'm getting like some godly experience, but in reality I'm just being laced with LSD or something. Like they just put something in my communion and I'm just like tripping sack and then it just brainwashes me. Like that's one of my biggest fears, bro. Getting played. That would suck. So most of my journey has just been like, half in, half out. Which when talking to some friends, they were like, "Hey, God actually hates when you do that shit because he knows that. He knows it's worse for you to know what's good for you, but choose not to do it than to just not do it at all, This half in, half out thing. I think one of my professors, his name is Powell's. I don't know if I can name drop that. Well, too late. He says that he's a cafeteria Christian. He picks and chooses what he believes in, based on what he agrees and what he doesn't agree with. And that was kind of me for a little bit. Because I think what I'm scared of is being labeled. Like, and also because I don't know everything about religion. I don't want to accidentally agree to something that might not be the best or might hurt someone in a way that isn't fair or just. You know, I have I have good friends with good intentions that are very religious, but they're just not implicitly, outwardly, not outwardly. They're just homophobic, not because they hate gay people or they think, but it's just because the way they were raised, they saw that as not right. And that's something within that line is something I'm worried about of becoming bigoted maybe, like, or joining a group that's bigoted, because there's a lot when it comes to religion, and there's so many subsects. It's like, where do I start? Am I even in the right field? Is Christianity really the one? And or is that just my culture and just growing up around it? So I believe, and am I more in tune to believe that that's true? If I was in China or something like that, in India, and I grew up around a bunch of Hinduism, would Christianity still be the thing I gravitate towards? Probably not. And I don't want to put anybody down for their beliefs. That's another worry I have. I think the judgment was my biggest worry when it comes to religion. I fear judgment. And so I just stay away from it because there's such a negative connotation to it. When in reality, I don't think there should be. I think the world, at least in general, at least with the internet, the more exposed that these flawed systems get, the more people are like, okay, let's pivot. And I think right now we're in a religious pivot. At least I am. I don't know. Where am I going with all this? Oh, so I was because like I said, there's a lot to religion. I think there's, all in all, if I'm remembering, and if what they told me is true, there's like 77 or 76 books in the Bible. And when I heard that, I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to read all that? At least when I'm getting started, where do I start? Do I start in the beginning? The book of Genesis? And just kind of work my way towards there? But, like, is the Old Testament, like, really where we start? Do we start at the New Testament? And The answer that I kept getting again and again and again from people that are asking is start with Jesus. Start with the story of Jesus. And I was like, okay, I'll start there. And I'm learning more and more about Jesus, which it's difficult for me. I don't want to say I don't accept Jesus as a savior, but I think the fact that I have this middleman between me and God, and I understand why he's there. He's there because he was perfect so that we didn't have to be, right? I mean, God, there was this I don't know what book it's in. I forgot. I didn't write it down cuz I was being a dumbass. I Funny enough, I wrote down the wrong thing. I wrote at some point in the Old Testament there were 613 commandments that the Israelites had to live by. And the reason why God made so many laws, so many commandments was to show the Israelites you will not be perfect. You cannot live perfectly. But Jesus can, right? And I think the thing with me is like, bro, like if you try your best, and I understand that's why Jesus is there. Jesus is there because we are trying our best. At least the people that accept him, we're trying our best to be more like him. And it's just I don't know. It's interesting because I just want, at least for me, I just want my relationship to be with me and God. Like, I don't know. I pray to Jesus. I like maybe I need to be more informed, obviously. Like I said, I don't really know a lot, but I I don't know when I should pray to Jesus? Do people pray to Jesus? Or should I pray to God? Because I don't know. I see Jesus more as a role model than like someone to look up to and be like, wow, okay, I should like I should be more like him. But I understand that he's the son of God, but it's like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm starting to learn, and when it comes to religion, I take a more like a psychological approach, perhaps. Like okay, I break it down. It's like, okay, so of course I would want to be like Jesus. Why? Because that's kindness. That's and that, it's like it's kindness. It's good deeds. It's doing what you know is good. Because obviously, and then I connect it to try to connect it. So like, if you're nice to people, it's gonna release dopamine, and of course, like stuff like that. So it's like, of course, being religious is gonna make you. I don't know. It's real tricky because on one hand, I just maybe I just don't know enough. That's the thing. That's the issue. And I'm gonna say it again. I just don't know enough. But also the benefits, if it is all real, it's like, why? How can I pass it up? But then again, me acknowledging that there's all these benefits, and it kind of feels like that's the only reason why I'm doing it. Like it feels very selfish, and I don't really like that. I don't want God to feel like I'm using him, you know? And I think he understands that. He's probably heard me talk about it all the time. But it's just like such a, selfish thing to do and to want. I don't know. And along with that, just also recently my life is a lot. My life has I was in a rut for a very long time. I was in a rut, and right now my life it's on the up. A lot of good things are happening to me now. Now that I'm exploring my faith a little bit more and I'm open to it, I'm praying a little bit here, there, talking to people about it. I went to a little service for the first time in probably years, bro. We did a little worshiping. I'll expand more on that later, but we did a little bit of worshiping. I'm seeing all these positive things come into my life that I could attribute to this as well. But now I see all this good, and I feel like I'm being held hostage because I don't want to lose it. I don't want to. I don't want to go back down. I'm scared. And in my head, it's almost this hostage situation where it's like I'm losing the genuineness of that relationship with God because it's like a kid that's scared to get punished. I'm doing it. Sometimes I do it more out of fear than actual, not love for the game. Not that, but like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I feel like I'm doing it more to avoid something than it's like operant conditioning. Which sucks because I know that's not how it is, but I just don't know how to wrap my head around it in any other way. Because all these, like I said, all these positive things are happening to me now. And it'd be different and if I'm say I'm only doing this so that these, or maybe that is what I'm saying. I'm only doing this because I don't want that to go. But I don't mean it like that. I'm in a more entitled way. Like, because yeah, I think that's the difference. I don't mean it entitledly because I know that there's probably some people that I deserve all this and blah blah blah. I deserve all of this because I do all this. I'm not like that's not the mindset I have. It's like I don't know. It's a fear. It's a little bit fear. Just because when you see it, some things are at least for me. Maybe that's just trauma I haven't processed fully. Probably. I at one point in my life I did have everything I ever could want for like a high school going into college Raph, and he lost it all after he kind of got entitled to it, right? And now I don't feel worthy enough of the things that I'm getting, but I like them. I like them. I like being seen in a positive light. I like people starting to look up to me. I like people asking for advice about stuff. Like I like all that. And, but it's also like I don't now I don't want to lose it. So now I feel, maybe that is part of the chase. I don't know. But I've definitely been seeing an increase in my mental health. And by increase I mean like positive. A big thing about religion and just being part of any group is the community. Of course, that's going to boost your mental health, but it's also like I don't know. Of course, there's science research out there that says when you let stuff out of when you give, like when you just say something out and just put it out there, it significantly reduces the effect it has on you. And I feel that on this all the time. I usually have a lot of anxiety. Right now, I'm full of anxiety talking to you about this. But the more and more I say something, the more and more it just kind of goes away. And that's kind of how it's been with my praying. I've been praying a lot for, I don't know, is it allowed to, are you allowed to tell people what you're praying for? Hold up, let me do some, hold up. Cuz like I said, I don't want to break any laws. Well, maybe they're not laws, but just like, here. Can you talk about what you pray for? Whether to tell someone what you prayed for is a personal choice with no simple answer. Sharing specific prayers can offer comfort, encouragement, and faith, but it's crucial to have the right intentions. Okay. Okay. So, encouragement, care, community, don't boast. Okay. Um, that makes a lot of sense. So, and obviously, maybe that's not the right answer. You know, would Jesus say that? I don't know. I pray. Right now. I pray a lot for my friends, and there's a couple of handful of that like I that's just been revisiting my mind over and over again. I also pray for my parents, right? Like there's a lot going on over there when it comes to mental health and normal health. So I pray for that. And it's like I've been seeing those aspects get better. I see my friends getting a little better from the situations that they're like coming out of. I see my parents starting to seeing happier, healthier, and it's like, you know, it's working. I feel it working. I pray for health, I, and my body's been feeling great. Even on the days, even on my shitty days, which where I don't do what I should. Maybe I don't eat as much protein as I should have ate. The other day I ate a Subway sandwich just because I didn't want to cook. I just bought the sandwich so I can go study at the library. And like usually that would fuck me up, but it like I felt fine. My concentration throughout the day has been beautiful. I'm grateful for all that. And I just don't want to lose any of that. I want to keep going. But am I doing it's like it feels so greedy. It feels so greedy, you know? But I'm learning. I'm learning cuz there is obvious health benefits and there's also implications. Like it would be cool to go to heaven, dude. I want to see what's out there. I want to bypass this body because there definitely is something bigger than us. And like even like at a in the most crazy sense of the way that it's sensed, if that even makes sense, the fact that, you know, the universe wanted to be perceived. And this is what it is. We are perceiving the universe. We were given this gift of perception. At least I was. I don't know about the rest of y'all. I don't know if any of y'all are real. I don't know if any person that I interact with is real. But I know that I am. And that's enough for me to want to see where I go with that. Energy can't be created or destroyed. So where do I go when I die? I definitely have to go somewhere, right? Like, you know? And the fact that there are reportedly people that are like close to death, like they all see the same thing. Or, you know, like I don't know, maybe there's something greater out there. And that's just what we call God. That's what we imagine is God, you know? Maybe everything's more psychedelic than it actually is. A lot of things back then were way more psychedelic. People used to drink and take like put a little microdose themselves, put a little microdose in the drinks, and then you would really feel the Holy Spirit, you know? Like I feel like there's something to that. I feel, I don't know. I feel like eventually you get to a point where you're just so it's almost unreal, you know? And this is just me rambling. This is me rambling because it's just I have it's a lot of questions, a lot of thoughts, and it's just I'm slowly answering them. Slowly answering them. Like I said, I went to my first service yesterday, first time in forever. First time in years. And it's also that's another thing. The different subsects. Yeah, it's like my dad's Catholic. Um, I was baptized Catholic when I was like 5. I could probably there's probably a picture I could show you. But like you know, it's like, is that something I want to keep going? I like mass. Mass is chill, but it's also kind of boring. But what's the message they're preaching, you know? And then you got all these like the Lutheran, Protestant, and then the one I went to yesterday was what was it called? It was called the Worship of God or something. It was like The Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. No, not that one. Church of Worship God. The Church of God? No, it wasn't the Church of God. It was like shoot, what was it called? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see. Assemblies of God. Like the one I was just at is an Assembly of God, and they have them, they do their own thing. So it's like, I don't know, I'm kind of dipping in everywhere. What if I don't even want a denomination? I just want to be a Christian and just explore everything. What if, like, I don't know, do I have to go to mass? Do I have to go to church? Or can I just do my own studying here? Is that good enough? Like, overall, broad, in general? Like, obviously, I'm not, like, dogging on any, like, people that go to that, any of that, but it's just, like, that's not really for me, but, like, is that, like, that's outward, it feels outwardly selfish, so is it right? Is it wrong? One of my friends, great friend, also mentor, she texted me something and it really stuck with me. So let me find it real quick and let me read it. She told me, with God, it's about your relationship with Him. The journey you take to get there for the journey you take to get there is for no one else but yourself. This is why you don't owe it to any church, to anyone, a church, a group of people, anyone who will judge you, because it's your relationship. It's meant to be deeply personal. Even though finding people who support that is important, you only owe it to yourself to understand it. And that's my opinion. That's what she said, right? And it's like, it is a very personal thing. I don't know. Again, it's the whole judge thing. Maybe that's, and maybe religion is just a metaphor for like the way that people should live, like, yeah, God, this and that, but like, what is it? It's a metaphor for life. Religion, I feel like, is a metaphor for a way that people should live, and I feel like that's kind of what it is. It's a metaphor. It's a big metaphor. And but I don't know if that's the right interpretation, if it's a good interpretation. You know, it's a way of life for sure. I don't know. I definitely start to feel some sort of dissonance when I do something. And this is also from the service last night. The one thing I did write down that it really stuck with me. Let me see right here. Not his exact words, but he says, when you learn to accept Jesus, you don't stop sinning. You just learn to stop enjoying it as much. And that's kind of where I'm at right now in this journey, amidst right now. I don't, you know, I come from hip hop. I come from, dude, you could probably pull up hella clips of me saying the most fucked up shit ever. I still probably do fucked up shit all the time, but now I'm more aware of it. And now it's kind of that awareness. I feel like religion is also kind of that awareness, self-awareness. It makes people more self-aware. And, and of course there's extremes. There's people that aren't self-aware at all and are extremely related, And that's just kind of, I don't know, that's kind of the headspace I'm at. And the reason why it probably sounds so confusing and probably sounds like a ramble, it's because it is a ramble in my head. It's all I can think about sometimes. It's just like, are you doing the right thing? And blah blah blah. Like, and what if God, like, how does God feel about me using practices from other religions? Like some of the Buddhist monks, the things that they do, like those are cool and very interesting. Like there's a ritual that they do where they pray in front of a corpse and they just meditate. They sit there and meditate for days. And through that experience, they learn to overcome death, or they even, some report that they might. And I think that's all it is. I think that's what it is. It's religion is just people trying to get over the fact that we're going to die. You know, it's people coming to terms with that and kind of coming up with their own like where they think what's gonna happen. You know, of course there's people that think, oh, you die and that's it, but no, it can't be it. When life started for you, it wow, that peaked really bad. I'm so sorry. But when life started, it just popped in. You know, there was no before. It just happened. I was just 4 years old and I was like, you know, and I didn't even ask questions. I just existed and I've been living my life ever since. Which which also creates this thing in my head where it's like, if perception is reality, right? My perception is I'm 19 years old. And when I die, where does that go? Where does, you know, and like I have this theory in my head, every person that ever existed and has ever existed, we are all the same age. And I can only base that based off of my perception. Because like I said, we just boom, we just exist. So so we just spawn in. So every person that will ever exist is just spawned in right now. Every person that has ever existed just spawned in. And you know, if it's anything like the way I feel perception wise, it's like they're probably still alive right now. We're probably in the same age, you know, because we just boom, we just exist. So it's like this continuum of just people that have always existed and always will exist, and they just keep boom, 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 and it's because conscious just pops in, and of course, it sounds silly, but like the only reason why we think it's silly is because to us they haven't been born, but to them they are born, you know? And that's just interesting to me. So there's got to be something there. Like my son is already born. I feel like the kid that I'm going to have is already born because his life, he just comes into life. You know, he's just going to be like 4 years old and conscious. That's when he's going to gain his conscientiousness, is when he's 4. But to him, that's instantly because, you know, but for me, of course, I got to get through the process of finding a wife, getting her pregnant, raising that kid through the toddler stage up until he reaches that moment of conscious. But for him, he already had that conscious because conscious is, you know, I don't know. I probably sound crazy and I'm probably on a crazy ramble, but these are just thoughts I have, bro. This is just kind of what I'm thinking. This is the headspace I'm in right now because let me get personal. Let me get really, really personal right now. My parents talk about death a lot. My parents talk about death a lot. Not because it's because they're old. They're getting old. And growing up in the conditions that they were in, dude, they probably have all sorts of fucking aces, adverse childhood experiences for those. Like I don't know. I I don't want to share too much because that's my parents' story, you know. I don't know if they want it out there, but from the stuff that they told me, bro, that's trauma. A lot of their friends growing up, especially on my dad's side in Mexico, a lot of his friends that he grew up with, they're dead. They're gone, bro. And my grandpa only lived to like what? 80, like 80ish, 82. My dad's 60. Like and he's pushing his body every day all day, like he's wearing down and he knows it. And and then with the mindset that wow, like all my friends are dead and here I am, like my time's coming soon. And you, especially being an immigrant, being in the US, and they're like you need to be ready for when we're not around. You know, they want to go back to their home countries. I totally get that and I understand that. And I think that's also what kind of made it hard for me to get close to my parents, is just the fact that I'm scared that that's I don't think God's evil. God is not evil, but one of my biggest fears was like I get close to my parents. I finally start getting close to my parents. And then I just fuck up somewhere and I get punished. And I'm punished and I lose them. I, that's a genuine fear that I've had forever, forever. Not because I think God is evil, but because I know that I'm so imperfect that I would do something and that would be the punish. You know, like on some cliche movie shit. Like, but that's that. That's religion. That's just what's been on my mind lately. If I'm being ever so real with you. And it's just so much uncertainty and all that, and I'm chugging through it. I'm learning. And I'm also trying to learn how to make it more genuine, feel more genuine. Um so yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And I'm sorry if somewhere we got lost in the sauce, or if you're confused, or if you want to talk to me about your experience, and let's inform each other. I think the whole point of it is community. It's not meant to put someone down for having different views and stuff like that, you know. So that's kind of the mindset I want to approach it with, for sure, for sure. Anyway, let me throw this trash away real quick. Okay. Also, if you haven't already, hydration check. Drink some water. I've been talking for 50 minutes, bro. I've cotton mouth. Cotton mouth. Speaking of water, brand new Stanley. My Owala broke. So I went to Shields the other day. I went on a little Lincoln trip to do some shopping for some dress shoes that I needed for choir, because I've had the same dress shoes since high school. So we got this bad boy. Super nice. Low key, well, maybe it's because I drink like 4 a day, but the ice kind of melts quick because I'm always filling up the water bottle. So maybe that's more, me filling her up a lot, but she's chill. These are my loafers. These are this is the main task, the main priority was to get new dress shoes for choir. So these are my loafers. Let me grab them. Look at these Johns. I got them on sale. $20. They're nice. They're fancy. What a oh. So with my 75 hard, I think I broke it a little bit. And by that, I mean, we're going to do this. So, this is, I got one of these babies. Because technically it is a, what is it called? I don't necessarily need this. Because I can only spend money on essential stuff. But I wanted one of these at the beginning, not at the beginning. At the beginning of the summer, I told myself, if you have a good health summer, like you eat pretty good, you exercise regularly, you should get one of these so then you can start tracking and just, and then I just never got to it because I didn't feel like I deserved it. But now more and more, especially having to wake up at 4 a.m. to work, and then some other days I wake up at like 6. Like tomorrow I'm going to wake up at 7 p.m. because I don't have anything till not 7 p.m., 7 a.m. because I don't have anything all day. But here I am waking up. So I want to be able to better control so I ordered one of these. I got the free trial right here. So it's on the way. I think they just sent it today. Like it's shipped out today. So yeah, you can choose if you upgrade to life, you'll receive. Okay. Oh. If Whoop isn't for you, cancel anytime. If you take no action with the peak annual plan on your Whoop, the Whoop isn't for you, cancel anytime. Sending the device and the battery back, you will be responsible for shipping costs. That makes sense. But yeah, this is what I've been on. Cause it looks chill. Like it's just a little band. There's no screen. There's no notification. It's literally meant for just fitness. And if we check over here, well, these are accessories. So if we go here, one, it's on 24/7, so it's constantly tracking, and it's also supposed to have a crazy battery life of up to 2 weeks. And so let's explore the metrics because that's what I want to talk about. I know it does heart rate. Okay, sleep. It helps you. Look at this. Tracking sleep stages, understanding your better sleep, right? So it calculates how much sleep you really need based on your patterns, your strain. We'll get more to that later, and the sleep debt you've acquired. And if you've taken any naps, it takes that into consideration. And it helps you optimize your sleep. It helps you build a sleep schedule. And it looks at the trends and it's just like. And then the strain, so it measures like how much it measures your exercise, work, anxiety, uh, you know. It scores your cardiovascular and muscular load based on those metrics. Exercise, work, anxiety, of course running errands and parenting, that you kind of throw that in for marketing, but like, right? And it understands, so like where am I at most of the day? Am I, do I am I work how much of the day am I actually working, or of this workout am I working? Where am I at? And then you can set goals to fit that, right? So if you want to work out, if you want high intensity, to be in a highly intensive state for 30 minutes, well, then it'll tell you if you reach that. And, and then, of course, it helps you with recovery. It helps you recover. Well, it doesn't help you recover. It informs you on how you could recover based on your resting heart rate, your respiratory, your sleep, the temperature of your skin. And I think that's really fucking cool. And so it'll be like, okay, so based on that, and then you of course see the trends. Helps you manage stress. So it takes into consideration your heart rate to indicate, and it'll tell you, it'll give you breathing exercises, and you can kind of see, right? and because if you log everything and if you kind of have a consistent routine, it'll help you optimize your routine. I think that's what it is, and extend your performance for years to come. This more in the sense that if you put in the work to be a healthier, better human, this comes naturally. You know, if you just have the watch, obviously you're not going to become healthier. You have to take in actual steps, but if you have all the data, that's lit. So I got one of these. I got the trial. So yeah, I'm getting this, the wired charger, which sucks because I really want the because if you just ordered it, if you just ordered the if you just ordered this one, this is the plan I have, right? If you actually just buy it, you get a wireless charger. So you can just clip it on. It clips onto this section. I don't even know if you could see. My big fucking fat ass camera is probably in the way. So you clip it onto this section right here, and it could charge it while still actively. And I think with this one, it probably I mean, you probably unplug. It might become uncomfortable or something. Like see, it's the basic wired charger, and you get a wireless pack with this one. But maybe they send you another one. They're like, well, fuck it. We'll lose a little bit of money off of this charger, but then we'll give you a product that you truly want. Yes, you can upgrade anytime. Oh, you also, but only take it at the end of your billing cycle. Downgrading means moving life to peak, life to one, peak to one. You should once you schedule. There's nothing else you need to do. Benefits until your renewal date when you plan. Do I return my? If you switch to. Okay, so yeah, I got this. What else did I get on my little Lincoln trip? Uh, I went to Whole Foods. Uh, I bought ground beef, vegetable. My food. I took some pictures of my food. I took pictures of my food that because I've been kind of meal prepping. Look at that. That's ground beef, avocado, broccoli. There's rice. There's rice in there. You can't really see it. Just because of the camera. This one, not this one. Um, Let me see. I took another one. Look at my meals. I've been pretty chill. That's a breakfast I had one day. It's just eggs, pico de gallo, a banana. I don't know why I said it like a white person. Pico de gallo, and some blackberries, stuff like that. Um, yeah, yeah. School has been so fucking interesting. We're chugging along, and not chugging. I shouldn't say chugging, but we're getting through it like smooth sailing so far. Working ahead a little bit here and there. Like I said, everything is good right now. I don't want it not to be good. Not because I don't think I need adversity, but I don't need that type of adversity right now. You know? Like I just got over a lot of it. Let me chill for a little bit. I know things are going to be on a decline and it's going to get hard. But let me chill for a little bit. On another note, um it's been nice seeing some of my friends, bro. I missed a lot of them, and I think I have talked about how much this year, how much I've just been reminiscing on the last 3 years of all the all the great stories, but also all the fuck ups, all the learning, everything, man. Like, dude, this is what I used to look like. For context, this is what your boy used to look like. All right, this sophomore year, towards the end of sophomore year, okay? So what? Not even a year and a half ago? Not even? Like your boy was chopped. Your boy was chopped. Here, this was taken around December. So this December 2020. I don't know. 2024. I don't know. When was this? January 13th, 2014. Like, look at your boy. Look at that chunky monkey. Right? Like I was chunky. I was fat. Like, look at that. Look at that. I don't want to go back to that. Look. Oh, bro. Just look at that. I look dead inside. I look dead inside. Now compare that. Look. Compare that. Like, I look healthier now. I don't want to lose any of that. I'm scared. I worked hard. And I used to be what? This was me at 230 pounds, and today I weighed myself. I was at 185. 185. Life is great. Life is beautiful. I don't want to lose it. And I want to work, and I want to be better. Okay? I'm not ready to fucking give up. That's why we're doing this. This is a progress check. So, Raph, in the future, if you're watching this shit and you're fucking fat again, bro, oh my god, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed, bro. Fuck, man. Look at this, dude. That's why I hate checking my phone, bro. That's why I hate checking my phone, man. Cause dude, what was I thinking? I was rooted. I was so lost. And now I see the path. So you know, can I fat shame myself? Is that okay? Is that allowed? Just for like a moment? Anyways, I need a haircut nowadays. Like, this is chill, but like, you know, I need a little fresh fade. I'm gonna get my other ear pierced. Oh, fun fact for those, I've had this ear pierced for like, basic. When you saw that photo of me, that's when I pierced it, around that time, in like February. And then I had it up until like the beginning of, towards the end of the cheer season. I lost the only earring that I ever had, and I just never bothered to go buy another one. And then this one technically is my roommate's. It was just kind of sitting there. It's been sitting in this package. It's like a whole like stud, like a little thing, and it's just full of studs. And I just grabbed it one day. I just put it in because I was just like, you know, it's been sitting there since like all summer, since I moved in, and I moved in like March. So, you know, and then I don't know, I'll give it back. I'll give it back, but like, you know, like, okay. So yeah, I'm getting this pierced. I'm getting this one pierced. We'll see if I like having two ears pierced. I'm gonna get a little haircut. I don't want to be chopped shit no more. I need some bitches. Sorry, I really tried not to peek the microphone there. It definitely fucking peaked. So, I'm sorry. Sound warning. Sound warning. I should put that at the beginning of the video. This is a sound warning. Please cover your ears. It's gonna get fucking loud. And that's okay, because that's just who I am. I'm gonna cough real quick. So I'm gonna pause the recording just to cough up a storm, but I'll be right back. Alright, we are right back. Wow, I felt like I was about to throw up. Water break. Drink some more water. Anyways, yeah. And that's just where I've been this last week. This week has been, it's honestly, it wasn't as good as my first week, but it was still pretty fucking good. I do this, it's not journaling. I really, journaling just got too complex. It got too emotional for me. I just couldn't take it. I would find myself sitting down and just having a fucking, it would take a toll on me to journal. So I kind of simplified it down to like this. I saw it on Pinterest, well, I saw the idea of it on Pinterest, and I kind of tried to make it my own. But you basically, it feel, but it's like, how are we feeling? 1 out of 100. What are we grateful for? Do I care to elaborate on any of the reason why? So today I wrote about or this day, August 26th, I wrote about feeling a bit low on energy as the day tapers towards the end. Because I didn't have caffeine that day. I do remember that. Well, of course I remember. That was fucking Tuesday. Tuesday, I didn't have any coffee because I forgot to brew and I just left out the door. I just walked out, So, like, naturally my energy was low. But, like, it was pretty sustained throughout the day. It was just like, towards the end of the day, you get a little bit tired and I went to bed. I went to bed at like 8 o'clock because I had to be up at 4. And I got what felt like a good 8 hours of sleep. So, stuff like, of course, it also has a to-do list. So usually that's just me putting my homework. I mean, on my to-do list for a good 4 days was buy my fucking textbooks. But, I mean, I still haven't bought some of them. Most of them are online, though. And they're cheap. So, honestly, I don't know why I'm complaining. I should be fucking grateful. Honestly, I should write that down in the grateful thing that my textbooks weren't super fucking expensive. They were, but they weren't crazy. Oh, it's just a lot. And anyways, I like, and I promise, I'm gonna get those episodes. I'm gonna get those episodes out soon. The ones where I talk about these subjects that I don't want to say passionate about, but that I just find so interesting. And they're almost like social critiques, maybe a little bit of psychology thrown in there, a little bit of life, a little bit of development, a little bit of wrath, a little bit of me. It's all about me. Let's learn me. I'm playing. I'm sorry. I get crazy. I'm crazy. I'm a crazy person. You know this. I mean, this is episode 8. If you haven't learned that by now, well then, I don't know what to tell you. And if this is your first time watching, what's up? And if I lost you a long time ago, my bad. But if you somehow are watching still, thank you. That's chill. I've been rambling for an hour and 7 minutes. How the fuck has anybody... Is my voice even... I don't even have a good voice like that. But I could have a professional voice like this and talk like this. Hi, how may I help you? I feel like this would be my white person voice. I don't know. Dude. I'm fucking rambling. Ugh, I miss the old Raph, bro. I fell off. The first couple of episodes when I was back in my fucking lawn chair, those were way better. Now I've become a fucking deranged lunatic that just rambles. I'm like Duncan Trussell. Except when he talks, it's fucking majestic. It's so fucking beautiful. I could listen, and it's so entertaining. And when I talk, I feel like I'm just... It's just what the fuck? It's just confusion. It's just... But that's where I'm at right now in life. So that, of course, that's how it's going to come out. I don't have shit figured out. That's why it's going to sound that way. These early episodes aren't meant to be heard. They're not meant to be heard like that. That's why, I don't know, I would only want my kids to watch this. Or me to watch this in the future, to look back on. Or, I don't know, my wife. My great-great-grandchildren that, That's what these episodes, that's who these episodes are for. So, until then, once I get locked in and I can speak properly, maybe have a guest or two, like, bro, then we'll be chilling. But for now, this is who I am. And I'm sorry if you don't like it. Click off the damn fucking video. Or don't, please stay. Please subscribe, like, while you're at it, hit a comment down below. I read all comments. There's only I think I've only ever had 5, and I have 20 videos by now? It's fine, it's whatever. I'm having fun. Speaking of fun, I've been getting into coffee lately. Black coffee. I have almost a cup of black coffee every day, which is the only type of caffeine I can have, like purposeful, like if I accidentally like if somebody gives me a drink and I don't know it has a little bit of that caffeine in it, then I don't mean that. I don't want to accidentally break my 75 hard, but like if it happens, it happens. I'm not gonna I don't want to purposefully break my 75 hard, but if it accidentally happens, just because I wasn't as aware as I could have been, it happens. Like when they told me to take communion, they were giving out communion, and for a minute I was like, do I really? Because I said no alcohol, and technically, traditionally, wine is alcohol. You take wine with your communion. But thankfully, this was grape juice, so I could take it. But what if that did have wine? What implications would that have? Like. Anyways, dude, my freaking. Whew. Wow. Wowzers. Wowzers. Um, on a different, dude. CoStar has been telling me it's making me delusional, bro. CoStar's making me delusional. It's leading me on. CoStar's making it seem like something great's about to fucking happen. And ugh, ugh, oh, dude. Okay, on some like weird, not even some weirdo shit, but like, man, I'm just trying to fall in love. Shooters gotta shoot, bro. I'm throwing up a couple shots. Okay, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And that's everything. I think that's everything I want to say for now. I can probably come back and talk. Oh yeah, we'll definitely do a Casey stories part two. Oh, I need to write that down. Hold up. Yeah, that's getting written down. If I've been I'm not even gonna say nothing. Just know Casey's part two coming soon. Okay. Casey, we'll call it Casey Stories Part 1, and then there'll be a Part 2. We can make this a whole fucking trilogy. Easy views. Easy content. We'll call it Casey Stories. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because Casey's life in real life, it is just so unreal, bro. Having to work in the morning and come. I'll elaborate more then. I'm not gonna spoil too much. I mean, not that anyone's ever even watched this far into the video, but like, I'm not gonna spoil. Anyways, I do want to give out some shout outs. First of all, shout out my boy Eric for fucking sending me a PDF file of the textbook for that class. You a dog. You genuinely one of the greatest people I've met. Dude, keep being you. Shout out, um, uh, we'll shout out Emma from the cheer team, bro. Thank you for inviting me that church service or worship, whatever the little group. I don't know what you would call it, but that was really nice. It it definitely showed me what I like and what I don't like about like worships like that. I guess if that makes sense. Not I'm not to dog. I don't want to make it seem like oh there's things that I didn't like. I like everything. It's just some things I'm more comfortable with than others when exploring faith. I think that's a good way of putting it. We'll shout out. Who else should we shout out? Um, who else has been chill? Oh, dude, shout out my boy Evan Slaughter. I'm sorry I was kind of mean to you today. And low key, the last couple weeks, bro. Dude, I'm sorry, bro. You don't deserve that. And it's probably not gonna stop, but now that Macy's not around, yeah. It's just I need to make fun of somebody. Macy used to dish it back, but you know, you just kind of take it, and that's why I feel so bad. So I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna shout you out. Hope you're doing well in the future. I don't know. I think that's everything, bro. I'm yapping. Midwest goodbye as fuck. I meant to end this like 7 minutes ago, but and I'm doing it again. All right, and I just peeked the fuck out of the microphone. Shout out my boy. Oh, shout out Marty. Dude, y'all don't know Marty. I'm definitely gonna have Marty on here one day, and you're gonna hear him and the way he talks and the way he just approaches life. You guys would fucking love Marty. He's chill as fuck. Yeah, that's everything. That's everything. That's everything. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you to the sponsors. These guns are the sponsors of today. Look at this. I'm making some. Oh, look at that. That's actual muscle. It's coming in. I'm getting strong. I'm getting strong. But yeah, I'm tired. I just want to upload this and low-key go do homework at the library. So I'll see y'all later. Where's the stop button? Where's the stop button?